What's up, folks? Back with another music video reaction, and we're going to watch another one from Duran Duran, and one that's maybe a bit overdue, meaning this is one of their all-time classics, and the final track they played during their curtain call at the concert I saw them at the beginning of 2025, which is to say Rio, the title track of the album of the same name, 1982, and one which bears a connection to the United States, certainly in one of the readings of the song, which again, as I learned with Duran Duran, their songs often have a poetry, they often have a visual element, but also different ways that you can take some of the lines, even if they have a specific meaning. And I say that about a lot of bands, but I think it's even more true about Simon and his lyrics. But yes, my understanding is that this relates at least in part to their traveling through and quote unquote conquering of the US and, fans on this side of the Atlantic. And ultimately it personifies the river and speaks to different locations, but in a way that I think is, again, with a bit of metaphor. In any case, I remember Izzy, big fan of the band and a great friend of the channel, saying that a number of their videos were shot in Sri Lanka, including both Save a Prayer and Hungry Like the Wolf. So I'm trying to remember if this is another one that was also shot in that same excursion, if you will. But either way, I'm looking forward to seeing what video is set to this classic Duran song. In the moment, I don't think I've seen it, but to be fair, there were moments during the Hungry Like the Wolf one where it's like, oh, wait a minute, I think maybe I saw flashes of this when I was a kid. So again, the 80s, especially the early 80s, was a very long time ago, and I was just a wee tot, but it's not entirely impossible that I may have seen at least part of this before. I guess we shall find out. This is the official music video for Rio by Duran Duran. You've now ruined that dress. I will have to point out, though, I did a reaction to a live version of this from a 1997 tour, and in the moment I got confused, and I was like, oh man, listen to John's bass. And Seb pointed out to me, another longtime Duran fan, that actually that's not John, he had left by this point. But it's funny because, hearing the bass here, it's one of the first elements that sonically stands out to me as the video begins, and yet it's a testament to the other player who, admittedly, in the moment, I'm forgetting the name of the person who was playing bass on that 97 tour, but, it has that same energy and that same dynamic pop to it, so it's a testament to his ability to recreate the original bass played by John in that later tour, that it sounds virtually identical to the studio recorded track. Cherry ice cream smile, I suppose it's very nice. With a step to your left and a flick to the right, you catch that mirror way out west. You know you're something special and you look like you're the best. Her name is Rio and she dances on the sand, just like that river twisting through a dusty land. And when she shines, she really shows you all she can. Oh, Rio, Rio, dance across the Rio. I'm laughing with her. I was not expecting that. So number one, we need to comment on the very 80s like pastel color phones, and then having them be on a split screen where like already it's a bit funny, like, you know, a hand comes out of the water, your phone, madam, or, you know, a call for you, and then Simon picks up an equally brightly colored phone, and then they do the split screen, which has this kind of throwback, almost like late 60s movie kind of feel, and then she tugs on the cord and he goes careening off of the boat, which I'm going to assume that was a stuntman and not actually Simon. I could be wrong, and apologies to Simon if it really was him, but yeah, I just wasn't ready for that moment, and I don't think I've ever seen this video. I feel like I would have remembered some of this had I, so yeah, this is entirely new to me.
So much to me, like a birthday or a pretty view. But then I'm sure that you know it's just for you. Her name is Rio and she dances on the sand, just like that river twisting through a dusty lane. And when she shines, she really shows you all she can. Oh, Rio, Rio, dance across the Rio Grande.
But so I'm getting the idea that this is the titular Rio. This is the one who's dancing across the stand and, you know, moving like the river. So I feel like not only does the song lyrics personify Rio, but I feel like this is her in visual form. And again, shout out to those who commented when I did that reaction to the 97 version, the live performance, where I was like, oh, you know, it's pretty close to the original. And I think a couple folks said, actually, you know, without the saxophone, it's notably deficient. And thankfully, when I saw them at the beginning of 2025, it was played with some swanky saxophone, as it truly should be. And so the moment that comes in here, it's like, oh, you know what? Like, yes, you're absolutely right. Like, I was sort of, you know, hearing the bass, enjoying the guitar and the synth work and so on, but the saxophone, it really is a crucial ingredient. Can we just appreciate the composition of that shot? One of the guys in the band just really putting out the vibes here with the pose, and she puts her head into the pose, does a little wink. It's so funny. No classic Duran song is complete without the doo 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 doo. So yeah, it's great, it's funny, it's exotic, it's sexy like a lot of their videos, meaning it seems a lot of their videos early on, not only are they in kind of flashy attire and they're looking very handsome and so on, but they seem to get lovely ladies and often in maybe not states of undress, but certainly in flashy attire themselves. So yeah, that does seem to be a mainstay of a lot of their videos that I've watched so far. And yeah, I enjoy the locale. Again, I wonder, is this in Sri Lanka? It wasn't as obviously in a like South Asian country as a couple of the other ones, but some of those shots, they don't look like any part of coastal United States that I'm familiar with. I suppose it could have been like the Florida Keys or something, and I wouldn't exactly know what that landscape looks like because I've been to Florida, but not the Keys, and I went to Florida a long time ago. But yeah, I do wonder where that was shot and if it was indeed one of the ones they did in Sri Lanka. But either way, a fun video, a funny video, especially a couple moments in particular. And even though it has a bit of that 80s, like, you're not quite sure what you're looking at, it's a bit silly and a bit like seemingly, disconnected from the song, like, the part with the telephone and pulling him into the water. A lot of the other sections of the video do seem a little more directly related to the lyrics and the themes of the song than at least a lot of 80s videos that I'm familiar with. So yeah, a very fun one. Looking forward to more. Shout out to Izzy and Seb and Adam and all the folks and Phil who've been there since the early days of the Duran Duran reactions. And let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.